Hi, this is Dee at Aloha Astro, and let's take a look at the forecast that I wrote for today's full moon on February the 19th, 2019. We have a full moon in Virgo. It was at 10:53 a.m. Eastern Time at 0 degrees 42 minutes. So it's just starting out there under that Virgo energy. Full moon in Virgo, Tuesday, February 19th, brings the caretaking energy of Virgo forward as the moon forms a quincunx to Chiron in Aries. Self-improvement, especially on the physical level, may be a primary concern as the moon trine Uranus in Aries conjunct Mars in Taurus increases an awareness of body image, vitality, and the senses. With the sun in Pisces sextile Mars/Uranus, consider an eating plan, exercise program, or healing modality that you have not tried before. A well-balanced, holistic daily discipline that cares for your body, mind, and spirit is supported by Mercury conjunct Neptune in Pisces, sextile to Venus, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn. Give your pantry and fridge a clean out and replace the processed food with healthy alternatives. If you have been procrastinating on doing something, this is the time to take action. The house the full moon highlights in your natal chart can show you the area of your life that requires servicing. And I'd just like to share this picture, which is absolutely stunning. This artist, Eric, I think it would be pronounced Johansson. I think he is Swedish. Visit his site and take a look at some of his other art. He does surrealistic photos, and they are absolutely beautiful. And I thought, well, how Virgo is that, where under the energy of Virgo, we are sorting, discerning, prioritizing, and basically taking care of necessities and fulfilling needs and fixing the things that are broken. Virgo's very concerned with finding the solutions to problems or fixing problems, and it's kind of amusing to think of the moon just being like a giant light bulb that needs some changing out. And anyhow, I just thought this was absolutely perfect. Even the idea of service, Virgo rules the 6th house in the natal chart or in the chart wheel, and that is the house that has to do with service related work. So Virgo's always associated with being of service. And just a little reminder that I am also available. My service is to help other people understand their charts, and you can click the schedule appointment button at the top of my site at alohaastro.com to schedule some time with me. I also have a special through the month of February. It's a video recording, The Love in Your Stars, and that is something that I record that looks at your chart from the perspective of relating. So let's take a look at what's going on in the heavens over here at Planet Watcher, where we can see where the planets are positioned at the time of the full moon, where we have the moon and the sun opposing, and the sun just entering Pisces as we come out of the fixed air sign of Aquarius and enter the mutable water sign of Pisces. This can heighten sensitivity and increase the already strong emotions that we feel at a full moon. And the two sides here energetically, Pisces is all-inclusive, and Virgo seeks to discern and prioritize, and there are no real borders or boundaries with Pisces. And each sign that opposes can learn something from the energy at the other extreme. So the moderation that would exist in the halfway point there between Virgo and Pisces would be to have some of the discernment of Virgo and to perhaps bring some of the fantasy or loss of clarity that Pisces can carry into focusing and becoming more Virgo. Overall, the focus of the moon is definitely directed toward taking some actions on change, because both the moon and the sun are interacting positively in a supportive way with Uranus in Aries and Mars in Taurus. Mars has recently entered Taurus. It came out of Aries. It is still going to have that Uranian energy behind it, and there can be a lot of impatience, basically the urge to change and take some action, and impatience, wanting to do things quickly and get things done. The shift here, though, where we've added some of that stable Taurus energy, people are realizing that it's not just about the self. Aries is very self-focused. Now Mars is not quite as selfish. It's thinking about the common good or other people, and how things manifest in the real world, rather than pioneering or pursuing something and initiating something that is not yet fully formed. Taurus energy, Mars and Taurus, begins to distill into something more grounded or realistic, more physical. Venus rules Taurus, so Venusian energy is strong today as well. We have Venus right now sandwiched between, and that's the ruler of Taurus, and we find that it is sandwiched between Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. Definitely wants to make things real, or make things enduring, serious, or committed, and they form a sextile here to Mercury and Neptune. This can have you looking at relationships from a very realistic perspective, or simply wanting to see things improve, or see some hope, wish, or dream actually become real, and be willing to do the work and make it happen. On the romantic level, commitment, or evaluating whether a relationship is commitment worthy, could be coming up at this point in time. And if it is deemed that it's better for you to break free, and that that person is not your forever person or your path or destiny to be with them, this T-square, which is beginning to fade, but it's still here. We've got a square going on between Mars, Uranus, and the Capricorn planets, Venus, Saturn, Pluto, and they in turn are making an opposition to the North Node in Cancer. And the lunar nodes always bring some feeling of destiny, fate, karma into play, and the T-square can show where the most challenge resides right now, and that would be in figuring out what is your path or destiny, and how hard are you willing to work at going after it. And if something is no longer going to be what is good for you, or isn't part of your destiny, then letting go and moving on would be what that might indicate. There can be breakage that occurs when Saturn's involved with Venus, as well as commitment. That would be the opposite side of Saturn. If something's been going on for a long time, but you're, beating a dead horse, or the lesson of the relationship is over, then a break may be what is necessary to have some transformation or change, and to be able to go out and find out what your path or purpose is. And that can be whether it's a personal romantic relationship, or whether this is a job situation. I don't know where this is sitting in your own individual natal chart, but the overtones there are definitely very serious. And everybody can take a look, if they know their chart, and see where they find Capricorn and Aries, Taurus, and Cancer, to see where that T-square may be affecting them, and also look to see where this very nice trine and sextile are, where the Sun, Moon, and Taurus and Aries energy is expressing itself in a positive way at this point in time. I definitely like what Mercury and Neptune are doing in the chart right now, even though they are still square to Jupiter in Sagittarius, and there can be some flights of fancy, or something that might be unrealistic. Maybe there's a little wavering in faith. Jupiter is still an abundant, positive, supportive planet, and in a square it is not as challenging as certain other planets can be in a square, because it is benevolent. So keep the faith, and if you're lacking in faith, then roll up your sleeves and do some work. Basically, if you want to see things, sitting and working on manifesting on the mental level will only get you so far before you have to actually start doing some work to draw something to you that you would like to have appear in your life. So while it's really good to pray or do vision boards or whatever, start making those steps toward what it is that you desire in your life. And this is a really good time for starting out fresh, as we're coming off of the full moon, and we have both the moon and the sun at 0 degrees here. And usually full moons are culminations and something coming to a head. However, we do have that feeling of fresh starts with certain things making shifts. We have Chiron coming out of Pisces and into Aries. We've got the sun coming out of Aquarius and into Pisces, and we just had Mars shift out of Aries into Taurus. So there is a feeling of fresh start, new beginning, and new energy coming in. And I think with the moon making that quincunx there to Chiron in Aries, the understanding that healing is not going to, sorry about that, healing is going to come primarily from you, through you, or through you going out and seeking to improve your life or your situation. That a lot depends upon you and the actions that you will take and your attitude toward things. So a lot rests upon us individually. In terms of group consciousness, there's definitely support. If you are seeking support, I would say you're the leader and get yourself a good team. Have a bunch of people or a team behind you that is going to give you the encouragement and make you accountable or keep you on track. Not necessarily that they're going to do the work for you, but you don't want the naysayers right now to undermine you. Choose your team carefully. And eliminate anything that's going to be telling you can't do things when you know it's possible if you just put in the effort and do the work of something. So I think that's it there with the transits. And let's take a look at the Sabian symbol. So we are here at 1 degree of Virgo. In a portrait, the significant features of a man's head are artistically emphasized. Keynote: the capacity to picture to oneself clearly the salient features and the overall meaning of any life situation. During the 2 preceding scenes, the feel of energy at work has been the dominant feature of a consciousness still strongly ego-centered, yet at times eagerly and devotionally reaching up to a realization of divine or cosmic order. Now we have come in the seasonal cycle of the year to the sign Virgo. It is in a sense the symbol of harvesting, but it is also that of the path of discipleship and of all strongly determined processes of training or retraining. Flooded with and having enjoyed and released energy, the personalized consciousness now has to learn the lesson of significant form. It must be able to see life situations as wholes of experience and to discover their meaning by distinguishing their most characteristic features. This is the first stage of the 31st fivefold sequence of symbols, and its keyword is discrimination. Implied in discrimination is both analysis and intuition, and that would be, of course, Virgo Pisces, the intuitive and the analytical. The mind separates and identifies, and unfortunately often exaggerates what makes a person or a situation different from another. But the intuitive responses of the whole person to what confronts him or her is also essential, for what matters is not only my or your difference, but the place and function this difference occupies in the organic pattern of the evolution of humanity as a whole, i.e. of man. So, wow. As usual, Dane Rudhyar has a lot of heavy words there that evoke a lot of imagery and gives us a lot to feel and think about in terms of the Sabian symbol, artistically emphasized and features. Well, that is something Virgo does, is discern and look at things from a very analytical point of view. And the idea in here of discipleship, I feel that that also aligns with the current aspects going on involving the Capricorn transits, where in order to become a master at something, which is what Capricorn seeks to master, one must be disciplined and be able to stick with something long enough to materialize something, to be able to know something fully or to make something real. And I think that that is some of what the establishment of the full moon cycle here for us is about. That if you would like to be healthier, well then get back to the discipline of eating better, buying better foods, making better choices, exercising more, taking better care of your body overall. If you want to improve your business, get down to making a prioritized plan of action as to how you're going to do that. If you want to have a bigger income and you know you need to go back to school, well, look into what you need to do to go back to school. Whatever it is that you need to improve, look at the work that you need to do in order to make that real, and then look at those individual steps and begin. Just start, even if it's one little thing at a time. Even if you walk a few extra minutes a day, or park your car further away in the parking lot, or give up that one dessert or whatever. Make the little steps that eventually lead to the bigger thing. So that's all, folks, and be safe. Have a good full moon. Yes, it is a little bit crazy, and the scattering seems to be going on with this full moon because the mutable energy and the Mercury ruled energy of Virgo is making everybody see all the possibilities and think about all of them and feel like there are so many threads to pull together. It will get better as we go into Thursday, when the moon enters Libra, and Thursday the 21st, the moon enters Libra and it forms a yod with the sun and with Uranus and Mars, and I think that there may be some important decisions made, or the clarity comes at that time, and you will know what the right thing is for you to do if you're sitting right now in that crossroads feeling of being under a full mutable moon that's ruled by a communication thinking planet. So everybody be safe, and I will talk to you soon.